What's good, guys? LM7 here, doing a kind of a different review. This time we have a set that came out a billion years ago. We're going to be looking at the old Hailfire Droid. Alright. So, number 4481, ages 10 to 14, 681 pieces, and was $49.99 when it was available in the US. You can see it doesn't even have a logo on the box, and the Star Wars is actually on the opposite side. Just telling you how old the set actually is. But this is one of the original sets that came out when Episode 2 was just released. So, looking at the back, we have a little bit of features. Nothing too spectacular, but I'll show those in a minute. I just like this little seam down here. I think it's cool. These are all the old Episode 2 sets. The ATTE, the first Republic gunship, Geonosian Starfighter, Cannon, blah blah blah. And then a couple Hailfires also in the background. And then it shows you some actual movie pictures of the Hailfire Droid, which is pretty cool. Now you might be wondering, well, obviously I didn't get it from a store or anything. I actually bricklinked this set in particular just because I thought it was I found it for a decent deal. I actually think I got it for $85. That was the cheapest one I could find that included the box and the full instruction booklet. And the box isn't even too bad a shape. Like it said, it was kind of beat up on the listing, and I was a little worried about that. But it was a box and I wanted it, and it actually turned out pretty nicely. Alright, anyway, looking at the set, first of all, it is a full Technic set, as you probably could notice already. There is no system parts in it, it's all Technic, but it did mesh with the other ones, and I think this is really the best way of doing the Hailfire. Nowadays, if they made one this big, they could add some system parts with the new stuff we have today, especially like in the wheel joints and everything. But a full Technic set isn't bad. And then, if you remember, I'm not a huge fan of Technic stuff, but this was actually a pretty fun build because I also bought the largest Technic set, the bucket wheel excavator. I bought that just for fun, just for a challenge to see if I could do it. So this wasn't any type of problem. Alright, moving on, let's actually get to the set itself. Now looking at it, it might be hard to tell like what the scale and size is of this set, and I will get to that in a minute, a little later on when I compare it to the older Hailfires, the one that the last one that Lego released. I forget the number off the top of my head, but it was one of the little $20 ones. So obviously, and I don't really need this for right now, but if we have it like that, okay. I guess we're going to show that feature off immediately. So this beam here, if you pull it back, it's connected by rubber bands, and then if you just pull this little knob here, the gun extends so the Hailfire can shoot. There's a lot of weird colors. This is back in the day before light bluish gray and dark bluish gray were a thing. So everything's in like standard gray. So it's a little off colored, but I think it's still cool because they did include, you can see these flex rods right there are in metallic silver. But what I was trying to show is the wheels actually work. They don't work very well on this, but the wheels do work very nicely. I wish I could show it on the table, but like they just don't work very well on this particular surface. I thought they would, but they actually don't, which is kind of a bummer. Because that is like one of the biggest features of it is they retained the actual driving feature by using these massive wheel pieces, which I don't think they ever used in another set, and they're super expensive. Trying to get them by themselves. If you'd ever want to build this set or make, you know, a custom version of this set with real system parts. Anyway, those are basically the two features. There's really only two, the driving feature and then the gun feature. Can we see that? Oh, hang on. If I move the box back just a little bit. So I'll show the gun feature again. The little knob is, can we see that? Yeah. The little knob is right here, and you just press it down, or actually, excuse me, press it up, and the gun pops out. So from this side, that's it. When I have it on display, I have it, I have the gun put away, just because I find that it leans differently with the weighted section of the gun being towards the middle instead of out forward. But that's just me. I mean, you can display your sets however you want. So let's take a look at some of these details that they actually managed to get in here. I thought this was, like I said before, I thought this is a really fun set to build, even though it is fully Technic, just because they have so many weird angles, and you wouldn't expect them like this level of design back then. I say this is one of the best older sets you can really pick up, if you can even find it, because it's really accurate. Although, you know, being fully Technic may be a turnoff to some people, but it's fully accurate and it's big. As you can tell just from my hand, just the body section alone is as big as my hand. But they have the little gear, or the suspension systems here. They don't actually function as anything because it's some big Technic gears and axles that actually keep the wheels angled, you know, not like this, but like this. As you can see, unlike the newer versions of the Hailfire Droid where they're on little hinge joints, the wheels are locked into place. They don't move, so it will always be in this roll formation, fully attack mode. Moving on, I really liked it because it's actually scaled right, as we'll see with the newer ones that are just puny compared to this one. It's scaled right, so it's like in the movies they're about as big as an ATTE, and you'd think, yeah, that makes sense because they're fighting them on Geonosis, so like, you know, they'd have to be formidable opponents. The newer ones, if you'd ever compared a newer one with like the ATTE that came out in 2013, the size difference is just stupid. Like the Walker could just walk over the Hailfire Droid, and why would you ever need gunship support to take these things out? But I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, what I really liked about this is they actually included 15 rockets on each side. Like the two newest versions of the Hailfire Droid only had 4 on each side, but if we could see here, there is there we go. You can see that there's 3 on the end and then 4, 8, 12, equaling 15 on each side. And I just thought it was a nice touch, because since they had the room, why not actually make it 100% accurate than like, you know, 85% accurate. I get why the newer ones didn't have the 15 rockets, because it would be obscene, and I guess they keep slotting the Hailfire Droid for really low price points. But I wish they'd make a newer Hailfire Droid that was a full system set that was about as big as this one, and actually give it a full price tag. Because nowadays a set like this, just looking at how big it is and the pieces, it has almost 700 pieces, so they would probably price this nowadays at $80 or $90 instead of the $50 that it was originally set for. But that, you know, that's way back in the day. The gunship was also $90, so go figure. Now they're $120, and that's even if you can find one, because you pretty much either have to go on eBay or stuff for these kind of sets nowadays. eBay or bricklink. But normally newer sets have a ton of features, and it takes actual time to show them. The only downside with this set is I wish they would have included a couple battle droids, but then that would mix everything up, because it is a full Technic set, so like they'd have to do that split thing to add a couple battle droids or Genosians. It would have been a nice touch, but it isn't a like super necessary thing. But now I want to show the comparison of this one to the newest one. There you go. So you can tell that they're the same set, but like, is there any real comparison to make here? The newer one has like 250 pieces, and this one has, like I said a couple seconds ago, almost 700. So, you know, take your pick. Like I said, this older one is way better scaled, and then the newer ones are just made like that to hit their price point of $20 to $25, which is kind of a shame. That's just my opinion. For what the set is, the newer one, the little tiny one, it does have 4 spring-loaded shooters, but that's really all it's got going for it. It's not really accurate in any way. I mean, the middle version of this, which was basically the same set, but a darker brown, they used the tread pieces instead of just this clear thing with printing on it. I mean, at least they did that in the older one, but that one had a lot less pieces. I do want to point out that this newer one is inaccurate, that the fact that it has a double cannon on the front. I just feel that was kind of sloppy, speaking that they knew there was only a single cannon based off this one, and you know, appropriately made it, but then the newer ones have less design. I don't know. Whatever. So, you know, that's just if you know, never seen this older set before, there's a quick look comparing it to the newer versions of the set, and all that fun stuff. It's a humongous set. It's like, I think it's like 16 inches wide, if I have to make a guess. Well, no, it can't be. It's about as wide as a big base plate. It's a big set. Like I'm saying, if it came out today, it'd probably be a $80 to $90 set, maybe even $100 if it was an exclusive or whatever. But overall, if you have it, I recommend keeping it, because out of all the Hailfires, this is definitely the best one, and I was just blown away building it. I had no expectations, and even seeing the box, it was kind of small, and I was like, oh, this isn't going to be huge, because I had never seen the massive wheel pieces before. And then I took them out of the box, and I was like, wow, this is actually gonna become something big. But anyway, that's it for the Hailfire Droid review. I'm gonna start reviewing the sets that I missed while I was on my little break period. I'll get those up whenever I can, whenever I have some free time. But I wanted to get this one up first because it's just sitting in my room in the box I hadn't put anywhere yet. Anyway, if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all of that. And let me know what you think about this set. Would you go out and try and find one like I did? Or is it too much hassle to find one nowadays? Anyway, thanks for watching.